Outside wide receivers coach Harrell. Graham, got a couple questions for you. First, I want to know, either when you were at Texas Tech, you had that record-breaking season, or when you were with the Packers in the NFL, who was the hardest defensive back you ever had to throw on?
You know, we had a lot of good ones there at Green Bay. I'd probably say Tramon Williams. He, unfortunately for me, I had to go against him a lot. You know, being on the scout team and stuff a lot. So I was starting against him, and he was crafty as far as just manned up DB, but inside I'd say Charles Woodson. He just knew every play, you know what I mean? And he wasn't necessarily a man, but when they played zone, it seemed like he guarded all three of my guys. You know, I'd go through my reads, and I think he knew my reads better than I knew my reads. So he'd take my first read away first, then my second read, then he'd sprint to the third read because he knew that's where I was headed, you know? So I'm like, man, he covered three guys in one play, but yeah, he was tough just because he knew the game so well and understood route concepts.
Graham, these outside receivers, they seem to just rack up touchdowns. You had Isaiah with 12 last year. You had Vince, obviously, with his 9. I want to know, who's scoring the first one this year?
That's a tough one. You know, we got a lot of good candidates for that. But if I just have to guess, I guess I go with Dom just because he kind of seems to have a knack for the end zone. You know, if you've looked at his stats in the past, he has quite a few touchdowns every season, regardless of how many catches he has, and he's really good in the red zone. So, like I said, I think there's a handful of it that could be, but I'm going to have to go with Dom just because of his past history, I guess.
Now you're on the receiver side of things. You used to be the quarterback relating to the receivers. You're always around them. Are there any receivers in this group that really remind you of somebody that you used to throw to?
You know, I think Priester has some of Crabtree's qualities as far as the way he runs strong with the ball. You know what I mean? He's not necessarily running routes like Crab and stuff, but both of them, when they got the ball in their hands, they run so strong. You know what I mean? So that's fun to watch, and they're just powerful guys. So those, you know, I guess that would be the one thing that kind of sticks out to me. You know, Crab was a great one, and he's an unbelievable player, but what made him so good was once he ran great routes and did a lot of good things, but when he got the ball, he ran strong. And Priester has that same, like, mean, strong mentality.
Now, I'm sure you're watching Hard Knocks, and one of the things they love to show on that show is is all the cars in the parking lot, all those NFL rides. Who had the best car of all your teammates?
There were a lot of Range Rovers in the lot, which, you know, was kind of a popular car, but probably Josh Sitton one time, just out of nowhere, shows up in a Porsche. I'm like, City, what are you doing, man? And he, just to show the kind of crazy money that they get up there, he said, I got my tax return back and it was burning a hole in my pocket, so I went and bought a Porsche. But just shows up out of nowhere in that, and it was a sweet little ride. So that was kind of a cool story.
Was Josh also the snappiest dresser, or was there somebody else who also had
he wasn't the snappiest dresser.
No.
Maybe the sloppiest dresser. But you know, I don't know who would be the best dress. We you know, when Aaron wanted to, he could dress nice. Obviously, he had a lot of nice things. But probably either Greg Jennings or James Jones. Both, anytime we traveled, we're always going to be dressed nice, have nice shoes on, looking really sharp. So I have to say one of those two receivers always look good.